Have you heard about Ancestry's new little tool called Recognize Ancestors or Search by Face? This facial recognition feature helps you find photographs of the same person across the trees on the platform. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly where to find this feature, how to use it, and, well, most importantly, what it can and cannot do for your genealogy research. Hey there, if we haven't met before, I'm Lisa with Are You My Cousin? And this YouTube channel is designed to help you find your ancestors, grow that family tree, but not be overwhelmed in the process. So if it sounds like your cup of tea, you're in the right place. One of the things when it comes to my genealogy research that I am always on the search for are really more photographs of my ancestors. I am, well, obsessed with finding photographs and more photographs of my ancestors so that I can put faces to names and see those family resemblances across the generations. Photographs just tell the story of an ancestor that, well, we can't always get when we're looking at a dry record that we found in the courthouse somewhere. And so one of the things that, well, I do think about when I'm researching in the genealogy databases online is I have photographs of my ancestors attached to my family tree. Do photographs of my ancestors show up in other people's family trees? Maybe there's a third cousin out there who's researching the family line who has photographs that I don't have, but they're of my ancestors. How could I find those, right? Well, Ancestry has this new little tool that kind of popped up. I'll be honest, I didn't see it at first, but it's kind of popped up, and I wanted to show you how to search for photographs of your ancestors across the different trees within the Ancestry.com platform. So what exactly does this Recognize Ancestors tool do for you and your research? Well, it searches the facial features of your photographs in the Ancestry.com platform, the family tree. So it's looking at your photograph and it is comparing it to all of the other photographs in other people's family trees to see if it can find a match. And when it returns matches, it will give you a bit of a confidence level suggestion for that match. It might tell you it's a great match. It might tell you it's only a good match. It might tell you it's kind of a so-so match. And just because it tells you you've got a good match, does that mean it's automatically the same person? No, of course, you still need to do your due diligence and confirm that it is indeed the same person. Now, you might be thinking, Lisa, I already have lots of photographs of my grandmother, or I have lots of photographs of my great-grandmother. I don't really need any more. What I really need to know is who her father was, right? Well, by using the Recognize Ancestor feature with your own photographs in your family tree to search for other people who have the photographs of your ancestor in their tree, what you're doing is really finding potential collaborators for your research. You're finding other people who might be researching the same line, who might have information on that ancestor that you do not have. So by using the Recognize Ancestor feature, what you're doing is not only finding potentially photographs you didn't have, but you're finding researchers with the same interest. You're finding perhaps distant cousins that you may or may not know of who are researching that same person. And therefore, they may have information, they may have family stories that came down their line that never came down your line. So you're missing out on potential information if you use this strictly to find photographs. In just a moment, I'm going to turn my camera around. I'm going to take you over into Ancestry.com, into my family tree, and show you how to use this new feature. But if you enjoy learning about new genealogy research tools when they come out, be sure and sign up for my weekly newsletter that comes out every Tuesday so that you stay in the know. I'll have a link to that sign up in the description below. We're here at my family tree on Ancestry.com, and so I want to show you how to find that Recognize Ancestors feature. So let's start with my grandmother, actually. We're going to find her, and we're going to go, her name was Cecil Clara White, and I'm going to go into her profile here. So we're over here at her profile page in my Ancestry tree, and I want to go into the gallery. So this is important. We're going to go into the gallery to find this. And when it does, obviously, it's going to bring up the pictures I have of her. And so you can see I have a number of photographs here. So let's go with this photograph right here. This is a good photograph here of her. It's a little, I would say, it's a little, shall we say, blurry, but it's a good face, we're looking straight at her. So, and it's a pretty good, decent quality for, I think, what we want to look for. And so to find this feature, it's this little feature over here on the left. Do you see that little kind of I don't know, what do you call it, like a square with a little magnifying glass thing in it. So we're going to click on that and it's going to say recognize ancestors. So what I want to do is it's giving me this opportunity to decide who is it going to be. So we're going to pull, there we go. So I know that I want to see if I can find more of her. And so I am going to click recognize ancestors. And it's very quick. It searched the trees there on Ancestry.com and it found a great photograph of her in 20 trees. So it said they found her in 20 trees. So this is mine on the right. This is the one that they're showing on the left. It is indeed her photograph. Now, it does show others. So you can see down here, like it gives this one. Obviously, it's telling me that that was fair. It's not a great result. And I agree. It's not even her, obviously. So you can see you can get some false positives. And it's important that you recognize that. Again, just making sure. I kind of peeked down here. I wanted you to see that there, kind of what some of the results will be great, others will not. This is obviously the correct one, and it is in 20 trees of her. So I would actually, I can click on those trees. It's going to tell me which tree she's in, and I can click through those trees if I wanted to look at those a little bit more and reach out to the administrators of those trees to say, hey, I found my grandmother's photograph in your family tree. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Obviously, we have, you have an interest in her, perhaps we're cousins, and I can reach out to them and then we could collaborate again on research. Now, one of the interesting things that I noticed about this is that each of these photographs that have her in her trees, I actually own the original photo. I actually own this particular photograph. I have the original in my closet. And so I was the first one to actually post it. So I thought that was kind of an interesting thing that I'm seeing that other folks have had it. I'm happy to share with it. Not a problem there. But it is interesting that she does show up in a number of family trees on Ancestry.com. There are a lot of people looking for her, apparently, or really interested in her. All right, so that's how you use that feature. I mean, how cool is that? Let me take you back to another one and show you one I did with a photo that's not quite as good. I think you'll see that here. We're going to go back into my tree here. We're going to go into my great-grandmother, Esther Richardson. You guys have seen her before. I do use her as an example in a lot of things with my examples. So let's go into the gallery. I have several photographs of Esther. Some are online, some are many more in my closet, but I do have a few. This is a pretty classic one of her that I use. Now it's not a profile shot, but it's also not straight on. So you can see her left side of her face is a little more shadowed, but it's a pretty good picture. So I wanted to try it and see. So again, I'm going to come all the way over here to the little recognize ancestors. Cool. And I'm going to, it took me a while to figure it out, guys, but this is actually a big bow in her hair. This is actually not her hair. It's part of a big bow. And I'm going to hit recognize ancestors. Let's see if anybody else has Esther in her tree. All right, interesting. So we have good matches in 20 trees, but I also have a great match to somebody else. Okay. Now, I know that this is not, while it says it's a great match, I know it's not a match because I know who my great-grandmother was. So I know that 100% that this is her on the right. And I know she was not Sarah McConnell. So I do know that. I did find it interesting coming down in the sense that they matched her to a Chapman. Because I actually do have Chapmans in my family tree for that side of the family. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Again, I know that that's not her. And then, of course, you see I've got some good. So they actually found quite a number that she matched. But again, just because it's a good match doesn't mean that that's actually her. So I do know that this is her. She is Esther Richardson. Again, I can find her in 20 trees that are going to be online. Absolutely. So I could go through and reach out to the individuals who are the administrators there and be able to perhaps do some collaboration on that Richardson's family. All right. So that's what I wanted you to see on this Recognize Ancestor feature. I think it's a great tool that we can add to our genealogy toolbox for our research. And I would love to hear some of your experiences. Be sure if you have played around with it, let me know in the comments if it's, or go ahead and play around with it and let me know kind of the results that you get. It's, again, just a tool, but I'm excited about this one. Maybe you have a photograph that you're unsure about who it is in your files, but you don't actually have them attached to somebody in your family tree, you can actually use under the search bar, you can find a search by face. So this is another way to search across the photographs that individuals have attached in their family trees that here on Ancestry, and see if perhaps you can find a match to your photograph to see, hey, can I get this person identified? So I thought this one kind of snuck up on me, guys. I'm actually not sure how long it was under the search bar, but here it is, and I wanted to show it to you. You click on that search by face, and it brings you to this, and all you really have to do is upload a file. So you can upload it from your computer, or if you have an unknown person in your gallery, you can do it as well. I'm going to actually upload a photograph in my files. This is actually, these are my third great-grandparents. I actually do know who these are. This is Clara Holt Haley, so I'm very interested to see if it will find a match for her. I am 100% sure that this is who it is, but if I didn't, one of the reasons I would upload this particular photograph is because she has kind of a unique eyes. Her eyes are a little unique. You can see they're asymmetrical, and I think this could potentially help match her to somebody because she has kind of a unique facial feature here. So I want to do that. I'm going to put the box right over her face, so I've got that nice and square, and I'm going to hit search and see if we have anybody show up. Interesting. So I did get about a number of results here. I've got a lot of, as you can see, great. It's giving me some great results, or it's saying great matches. Yet when I look at these and do my evaluation of this, again, I feel like these are false positives. Well, they are false positives. I don't feel like that. They're false positive. Part of it is I'm looking at location. I have no Gibsons in my family tree. There's nobody from the New England, New York, Vermont area. So to me, looking through these trees, this is not her. Matilda Keene Noble, again, this is not her, though the surname Keene, I wonder if there's a match because of there's some family resemblance here. Again, she's got the woman on the left has that asymmetrical eye. I do have Keenes in the family tree along this side of the family, though they are not in Kentucky or Illinois. So I do wonder, perhaps there's a distant relationship here, maybe, but looking at not just the photograph, but looking at the woman's other information, this is not her. And again, just because I'm getting what the algorithms consider great matches doesn't indicate that it actually is. So I can work my way through those as well. I did not get any that actually matched her. As I scroll down, I'm sitting here looking. Yeah, so I didn't actually get any, and I did get some false positives there. But maybe I got a clue to perhaps look at that Keene family a little bit more, possibly. So don't hesitate to upload a photograph that maybe you haven't even put in your tree yet. If it's somebody you don't know, or it's a different photograph than what you already have in your ancestry tree. So give it a try. I'd love to hear what your experiences are on that. Now that you've seen this tool in action, let's take a moment and talk about some of the limitations and expectations that you can have when you use it. We did talk about some of these during the demonstration, but I want to make sure we have a very clear understanding of what it can and cannot do for us as researchers. Now, I did mention before, this only works within the Ancestry.com platform, so you can't do this and expect it to search other genealogy databases. This is only searching the family trees of individuals who are on the Ancestry.com platform. So there is certainly the possibility that you have other photographs of your ancestors that are out there, but that are on a different genealogy platform that are not necessarily on Ancestry. So I want you to keep a realistic expectation of where the tool is actually searching. Also, quality and kind of the angle for that photograph matters. If you have a photograph that is blurry, maybe it's a little out of focus, your results that are returned are not going to be as good. You're not going to get as many quality results. And it may say, we didn't find anything, when in reality, there might be other photographs of that person out there. The program just couldn't figure that out based on the photograph that you had. Also, the angle of that photograph. I have found certainly if it's a full on where you can see the full face as opposed to a profile, I found obviously better results in my own personal trial and error with it. So if you've got a full-on face view of your ancestor with the photograph, that's going to work a little bit better than those side views. Absolutely, false positives are going to happen. This is not going to replace your eye, your knowledge, and your thinking skills, your critical thinking skills. So use it as a tool. It is a feature, it is a tool, but make sure you're doing your due diligence and don't accept it as absolute positive if you haven't compared and contrasted the images yourself. But that brings up a really good point, and the fact is that this is a tool. This is not 100% accurate. This is not going to replace you, your critical thinking skills. Use it appropriately to enhance your genealogy research. Now, I am excited to be able to add this Recognize Ancestors feature into my genealogy toolbox. I think it's going to give me just that one more thing that I can add and use when it comes to solving some of my family photo mysteries. But if you are looking for more places to search for photographs of your ancestors, be sure and watch the video on your screen now. Your family's photos are not lost. Here's where to look.